Good morning. On most of our minds, and now we have more information from many sources, The Economist, The Guardian, Haaretz, New York Times, which is not actually always correct, and a last source that I'm going to recommend and put on the web comes out of UCLA and Berkeley. It's the Helen Diller Institute, and I got the most information on what's happening in Israel, what's happening in Iran, and the coordination between Israel and America. So let's look at what I've learned. I've learned that this was a war of opportunity. Sure, if you look at it on the political spectrum, it was a war that both Bibi Netanyahu and Donald Trump were happy to enter. It got them both away from domestic troubles. But those domestic troubles will still be here when the war is over. Do I think that the war is going to last more than a couple of weeks? I don't, based on what I'm hearing. Not going for regime change. We're going for a regime that we can work with. Or let's say a regime that Donald Trump can work with. He's not looking for democracy. He's not looking to install a democracy. He's looking for someone who will do deals with him. Does that mean that the Middle East doesn't have to worry about Iranian weaponry? It really doesn't. The reason we were back there now, months after we were there in June, saying we'd already crushed their nuclear capability, their enrichment ability, crushed their missiles, that's not really the case. As it turns out, with the murder of Khomeini, the leading Ayatollah, there was a doomsday scenario given out to the Revolutionary Guards, stating that in the event that the leadership was dead, this was the plan to be carried out by the remaining Quds forces. And so here you have, scattered throughout the country, military militias with missiles, ballistic missiles. And why now? Why did we attack Iran now? We attacked them before China gave them even more weapons to use. This was a time of opportunity. One can only hope that when this war is finished, we don't have to keep going back there every 8 months to stop the missile building and the uranium enrichment. That's the hope. Who's looking like the likely contender for the Ayatollah? Looks like it's his second son. However, if the Ayatollah's second son gets into power, he might be assassinated. So they may be looking at somebody else. Israel, United States, and the rest of the Gulf countries who have felt more of the ire of the Quds Guards, we're all hoping for a more pragmatic ruler. That's to be chosen. Trump wants to have a hand in it. Bibi would like a hand in it too, because who wants to go and fight a major war every 8-9 months? They used to think it was going to be 10 years out with the original treaty. Now it's shortened. Not because Iran feels threatened, but because Iran has such hatred for the rest of the Middle Eastern states. After all, The Quds guards didn't shoot just Israel. Actually, Israel did not get the brunt of their weapons. It went to Kuwait, it went to Saudi Arabia, it went to Qatar, it went to Jordan, it went to Cyprus, and wherever those missiles could land, indiscriminately between Shia and Sunni Muslims. They really don't care. And Hezbollah has been activated again. So again, they've got to be bombed into submission. When do people learn? That's my question. When do you learn? When do you learn that you have a country, that you've mismanaged your resources, and it's time to do business properly with the world? None of us can be isolated because, as we're finding out, we're all connected. And what the Iranian war has done, it's really connected Israel with the rest of the Middle East. And the pariah state is not Israel. It is Iran. And it is Iran's proxies. Nobody wants them. Nobody wants their infrastructure devastated like it was in Dubai, like it was in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain. Nobody wants that. Every country wants to be able to be solvent and provide a living for their people. We can only hope that the war does indeed end in the next 1 to 2 weeks. There are back-channel diplomacies happening now. Qatar and Turkey are really motivated, and so are the other nations. They want to see peace because they're all targets as well, and they propped up the proxies. So you can imagine how they feel about what's happening. Now they know Iran was never on their side. Kurds are getting involved. It is the hope, I think, of both Israel, the Middle East, and America that they will take out some of the militias and prevent them from firing on their populace, and perhaps the protesters throughout Iran will have a chance to change their regime. We're not doing it. It's up to the people and whoever in the Middle East gets involved. The pros are, I think the Abraham Accords have just increased in probability, and I'm hoping once again that the outcome will be peace in the region and eventually a two-state solution between the Israelis and the Palestinians. One can hope, because hope dies last.